Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Day 19, last day for this bot to show us what it's got. Let's see what trades the bot takes today and how my setups fared this morning, right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures, any type of trading is risky business. When you get into the markets, you're risking all of your capital. With that being said, this bot is in
Order
the green.
submitted.
Got a setup here that's happening on the NASDAQ. Let's see what happens there. But the bot is green. Here's our day 18 of trading. We are at 2,069. We're actually a little bit past 30 days on this challenge. So today will be the last day trading the small account challenge. Let's see if we can stay green or what the bot wants to do today. Since tomorrow is Thanksgiving, today is the 22nd of November. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I will be taking tomorrow and Friday off. And then on Monday, I am starting the $5,000 cash account challenge, just trading the bot on an 1 E-mini contract on 2 instruments, which right now I am
Order canceled.
pretty much going to be looking at trading the NASDAQ and oil or the NASDAQ and the ES. And I'm super excited about it. I really am. Let's see, how did my trade setups from this morning fare out? Well, I'm still in one here in oil. It's been like a roller coaster ride. Let me So today we've got some news. Obviously, we're going into, it's kind of a weird day. I stated in Discord. I mean, okay, so why is it a weird day? Well, we've got oil inventory this morning. We had a bunch of red news cycle events this morning. We're going into a holiday weekend where volume is typically starts to drop off. So I told everybody, second session, I won't be trading oil. Took a loss on my gold trade this morning. But this oil trade, I mean, we got in here at 810 on this inside bar. Came down pretty good. I would say about 75% of our TP. And then just shot all the way back up. And literally by a tick, I'm still in this trade. And now into some profit again. So we'll see how that one goes. Now let's take a look at a really nice winner this morning. My 15-minute Rob reversal trade. So we got the signal right at the open at 8:30. So our trade here got activated at 8:45 because it's a 15-minute candle. You guys should all know this strategy by now. If you don't, I've got this exact strategy linked in the description below, and I'll put it and link it to this video. So we got the setup. We got our down candle here. We then get the next candle that continues the downward pressure, but then pushes up. And then you could see this thing just ripped for its 35 points with no problem. So this was a huge trade for me this morning. So super, super happy on how my setups have been working. Let me just put my oil back where it needs to go so I can take a look and see how this one's going to do. But this oil one is just, man, it's been nutty. It's been going on for, I want to say, almost 40 minutes, 35 minutes. So it's been a nutty one, but we're still in it. We're still in the fight. Let's see what this bot can do today. I'm excited. I'm excited for the final day of this challenge. I'm super excited for next week's challenge. I've got a video on my morning gold setup that is going to be dropping most likely here today. So keep an eye out on that one and stick around for my trade recaps, and let's see how the entire session works out.
Order submitted.
Okay, here we get into a setup on the NASDAQ. This is off of a 5-minute red line. What do I think about this trade? Saw this one forming, and we have a decent trend upwards. I didn't necessarily like so much the pullback. I wish the pullback could have been a little bit more spacing here. But where the target's at, I don't know. I felt pretty good. I felt okay about it. I think I would have taken this trade. Obviously, all things being considered, with going into the holidays and a pretty busy news cycle here this morning.
Order canceled.
But as we can see, we get knocked out of this trade pretty quickly for a loss. Okay, here we're getting into a setup again on the 5-minute red line. It's actually shortly right after that last trade that we lost. Now, just looking at price action, this is looking for a long, again, off of the 5-minute red line. And looking at the setup, I don't like it. I really, a lot of consolidation here. And, it just, I don't know, just the market, the way it looks right here, to me, just doesn't look like a good setup. I wouldn't take this one manually. And the reason why I put this one up, even though we don't get into a trade here, is you can actually see how well the bot does of not taking a trade on this setup, which you'll see shortly after. This thing just continues to dump down and gets us out of a pretty bad trade here. So that entry is just trailing our candles, and it's waiting. If we get a close below that 5-minute red line, it's going to cancel out that entry. So again, getting real close to getting into an entry here to go long. But that, the trailing entry is still kind of stalking this trade. And it's seeing if it gets a push up. If it gets a push up here, we're in a trade. We're in a trade long. And you're going to see here at the end of this candle that once it closes below that 5-minute red line, it gets us out of a bad trade here, which is great.
Order submitted.
All right, here we get into an NQ setup on another 5-minute red line to the short here. And to be honest with you, with this trade, I'm actually feeling a lot better about it. It helps that take profit is right at the second pivot that we see there. So definitely, I'm thinking to myself, if we can get past that 16,055 number, which is where those first yellow dots are at, which is like a pivot that it's kind of it's been hard for the price action to get through. My thought process here was, okay, if we can get past that pivot, and it's, you're going to see how this aggressively goes after this thing, then we got a shot here at full take profit. I think we have a really, really good shot at it. So I'm actually pretty damn excited about this trade. Now we're break even. So again, not much skin in the game. So I'm really liking the trade. And there we are. We're trying to test that, that pivot. It's doing its damnedest to try to get to it. And we get to a point where we're about $61 in profit, which on 2 micros is a pretty damn good trade. But, I with this challenge, I want to leave these going to full take profit. And, and then this one, it tried. It really tried to get past that pivot, but it had a really hard time doing it.
Order canceled.
So break-even trade on the NASDAQ.
Order submitted.
And then, funny enough, we get another 5-minute red line on the NASDAQ, pretty much right at that pivot that we couldn't get past on the last trade. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, now we've really started attacking this pivot. We've had multiple touches on it. I'm actually okay with this trade. I like this trade setup, and I'm really starting to see some signs of a good trade here as price action is really trying to break through on this pivot. Now I'm also looking at the take profit, and to be honest with you, next week when I do my challenge, I would have probably have moved up this take profit to that green line, to the green dot, where that pivot is at. It just seems to me like it would be a very natural progression of this trade to want to go there next. But obviously, for right now, we still got to get past this pivot. And I think on this trade, we were, I don't know, I would say we were probably $20-$25 in profit. Right again, just trying to break that pivot. So, same area, but again, I like this trade. I really do. I like this setup here. And you can see it's a tug of war here. I think whoever wins this tug of war is going to take some points here. And I think right here we're at about 7, maybe 7.5 points of stop. So we've got enough room. I mean, we've got that 5 minute. We got the 5 minute goal line as kind of like a, I don't want to call it a barrier, but it's, hopefully maybe a place where it might want to retest and then continue that bounce down. That would be, that's kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm in this trade. What are just like the natural things that it's going to want to go to? And it's just really magnetized to that pivot. I mean, it's the sellers are trying, but the buyers have put up a great fight. I mean, they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's almost 12 candles that are all just hitting that exact same spot. 12 1-minute candles. So it's fighting. It's definitely fighting. Now here, I'm kind of just thinking to myself, now we're getting really close.
Order canceled.
Well, there you go. We got knocked out there for about a 7 to 7.5 point loss on the NASDAQ.
Order submitted.
All right, and here we get into a 5-minute red line trade on oil. So, the other two instruments, the I'm sorry, not in oil, on the Russell. So the oil and Russell both were pretty quiet today, but this ended up taking a 5-minute short on the Russell, and just you get into like midday, and it's the day before the holidays. I'm just not having a really. I mean, again, manually trading this, I'm not in this trade. I'm probably not in a lot of these trades here today. But last day of the challenge, figured why not? Let's see how this thing goes all the way until the end time. And it does get into a little bit of profit. We get some of our risk reduced there with the auto trailing stop. So that does kind of, that does help us out right here. Just, again, not having really good feelings about this trade either. it's got to cover some pretty good ground to get to that take profit. I mean, honestly, just looking at the chart, it looks so far away, so far away. So we're in a little bit of profit. I would say all of our trades today that the bot took at one point or the other were in some profit. Some at 50 and some at 20,
Order canceled.
but this one loses. And there's the recap. Small account challenge, just trading the Robert Anderson Gold Line trading bot. I've been trading this for over a month. Actually, it was like 34 days. It could have probably ended the challenge a few days ago with even more profit, or I should say in profit, because we got up to 3,100. I'm sorry, 2,100 and something. So, with that being said, challenge is done. The bot had its ups and downs throughout the challenge. Today was kind of a Today was kind of a strange day. Bot took a loss today. Um, some good setups, some bad setups, some setups that I wouldn't have taken manually. I think there was one there that I really liked that I would have taken manually. But here's what I want to leave you with on the bot. I wouldn't have traded this today. In fact, if you're already part of my Discord, you know that I shut down all. I didn't even take session 2 of oil, and stick around for what happened to me in session 1 of oil. That was awesome this morning. But I documented in Discord. I'm done. There was, leading into today's the 22nd of November, so we've got Thanksgiving tomorrow. We've got, the beginning of a holiday here, and volume starts to get lighter. We had some big news cycle this morning. We had oil inventory this morning. So again, just I didn't like it, and if you listened, for those that were in my Discord, and a lot of them said, you know what, I'm staying out of session 2 as well. It was a little strange what happened in session 2. I'll bring that up here shortly, but the point is, I wouldn't have traded this today. So that's, or maybe I would have traded that first 5 minute red line or the second 5 minute red line, because that was still kind of early. There was still some movement, but just not a great day for trading. And that's the beauty of it, is that next week when I start my other challenge, I am going to be able to be a lot more discretionary. I'm going to record all my trades. I'm going to let you guys know why I'm doing things. That's the one thing that I don't see a lot of is, you'll be told, well, don't go into, you got a pivot that's right here, or, there's not enough spacing here, or you've got the overnight open that's coming ahead of you. So there's a lot of little things to this system, to Robert Anderson's system, that I like to comment on as to why I think it's a good trade or a bad trade. It's a good setup or not a good setup. And the beauty of me being able to trade more discretionary is that I think I'm gonna do pretty good with this bot. I really do. I'm gonna release a video on Friday, which is going to be my 30-day honest review, where I'm gonna get in depth as far as I'm gonna show you my equity curve, which is kind of nutty on this one. Show you my equity curve on here. I am going to show you the amount of trades that the bot took. So I'm going to have a lot more details on it and kind of give you an overview of everything that I thought, the good and the bad. And then we'll look forward to next week's challenge. So where did we leave off today? Today we took a loss of $70. So we were in profit yesterday. We pretty much can we just call this break even? The bot lost $1.42, which is kind of comical, but it's been exciting, man. This has been one heck of a ride. and I'm excited for the bot. I really am. I'm really excited to see what I can do with this thing now. With all the training wheels are off, I feel comfortable with the system. I know the system. I, I'm excited to see what I can do. Let's just put it to you that way. All right, let me put up oil here on the screen. Oil, man, you gave me a heart attack this morning, Oil. I think in the Discord I said halfway through this trade that lasted, I don't know, maybe an hour, 50 minutes. I said I need some Tums because, well, let me just explain to you guys here what happened. So we get an inside bar at 8:10 in the morning, and we get activated to the short. Okay. I think everybody knows the rules. We're going to go short at the bottom of the inside candle. We're going to go long at the top. And we just let price action dictate which side we're going to go to. We're looking for that momentum to push us to our take profit. And here, when we came up, my stop loss is at the top of our source candle to the one to the left, and it was 38 ticks. Okay, it's a big stop loss. Um, in CL, that's $380. It's big. So, and that's getting to my max stop loss. As you guys know with my strategy, if it's 40 ticks or higher of stop loss, I then reduce it down to 35. But if it's 38 or 39, I just do 1-to-1. Okay? So what happens here? We get activated to the short, and in the first 15 minutes of the trade, it's looking pretty good. We get to about 75% of our take profit, and then we get this big reversal. And look at this candle here, guys. At 840, literally by one tick did we not get knocked out. Do you guys remember yesterday how we had that first trade where we got knocked out by a tick? And so, I mean, it's just like the market gives and it takes and gives. So, and I think this is the part where I was talking about Tums, because now we've just gone full circle here on our where our take profit was and where our stop loss was at. And I know a bunch of people on Discord went to break even after this move. They their strategy was set to break even. Some people have, smaller stops, which is fine. I mean, you have to make this strategy work for yourself. One small recommendation, and I gave this recommendation to my Discord, was if you're having a hard time following the strategy exactly, just reduce size. It's such an important concept in trading. Reduce size so that you are comfortable in taking the trade all the way to its finality. You know that the strategy needs the stop that we're asking it to give. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why the back testing shows it. So what happens? We come all the way down, slam, take profit. I mean, it was just like it was a roller coaster. And then even prior to even prior to getting into this trade, I had already said, I'm like, listen, I'm going to look at session 1 oil, but I am not going to be looking at anything in session 2. We had oil inventory coming out. We had going into, again, Thanksgiving, so it's like just was weird. It was like a weird trading day, and I told everyone, listen, I'm out. I'm not going to be taking any other trades today, obviously minus whatever the bot's going to do on its own. So what happens, and this is just based off of my Discord, some people try to get into this trade, and it did hit take profit. I know this looks like it would have stopped out, but it actually hit take profit, then came back up. I don't think a lot of people even got into this trade. One, because of my I don't know. I had said I'm not trading it, and then it was hard to get into with the whipsaw. I mean, you had to be like Johnny on the spot to try to get into that trade. So didn't really recommend session 2. If you took it, great. If not, that's okay as well. So that was oil. I already gave you my my recap on the 15-minute NQ that hit for 35 points this morning, which was fantastic. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Watch out for my 30-day challenge. I'm sorry, for my 30-day review of the bot. That's going to come out on Friday. Monday starts our new challenge. Monday starts all of our trade setups again. Have a great weekend. Happy trading.